Hi there, fellow Facebook marketers. In today's video tutorial, we're going to create a Facebook custom ads report using custom metrics, custom events, custom conversions, and custom formulas. You'll learn how to set up a custom report using conditional formatting to quickly identify winning pages, pages that succeed in keeping users' attention, and pages that need to be tweaked to increase interest rates. I will show you step by step how to create custom events in Google Tag Manager and how to create a report like this that will allow you to find insights you may be missing when only looking at default Ads Manager reports or default Google Analytics setups. The report in this tutorial is especially useful for businesses that focus on creating high quality content. It will show users who spend time reading your content. So going from attracted, meaning they spent at least 5 seconds on your page, going to interested, people who kept reading your content for at least 20 seconds, and finally people who scrolled down at least 50% of the total page length and kept reading your content for at least 30 seconds. Now, of course, if you are in lead gen or e-commerce business, you can adapt all the different steps to your own business needs. If you're an e-commerce business, you can set the engaged action trigger based on, let's say, product activity, people adding products to a basket. If you are in lead gen, you can create an engaged trigger based on people who downloaded a white paper, for example. Now, the reason why I'm creating such a simple report is mainly because nowadays it's becoming much more challenging for marketers to find data that is clear and usable to act on. And yeah, we have the privacy first tracking issues, the opt-outs, the different attribution settings across different ad and reporting interfaces that make it really difficult for marketers to find the true performance of their Facebook ads. Tools like Google Analytics don't show specific engagement metrics by default, so you would need to set up custom events to report on different pages. You would also need to filter by source medium, campaign name, to report ads, Facebook ads performance. And last but not least, Google Analytics uses a different attribution model. So they are only showing last non-direct click attribution results by default. So that basically means that you're missing out a lot of insights coming from your Facebook ads. That's why in this report, we are eliminating Google Analytics as a tool to look for results. This tutorial will create a report that only uses meta data that is collected by the metapixel, and it will therefore only show results coming from the metapixel itself. It will therefore also follow the same attribution settings linked to your Facebook campaign and ad sets. This way you will get details on each campaign. You can break down by campaign name, ad set name, or ad, and you will get details on each ad that will allow you to quickly identify winning and losing pages linked to your ads. When finishing this tutorial, you will have access to a brand new reporting interface. And I would say let's get started. I guess it will take about half an hour to create all the custom events and to build the report we're seeing here. So the first thing we need to do is create the 3 custom events in Google Tag Manager. So we'll have to navigate to Google Tag Manager and open the website container. Alrighty, here I am in the Google Tag Manager workspace. So the first thing we need to do is set up the triggers in Google Tag Manager. The custom report that I will be creating is based on 3 custom metrics: attracted, interested, and engaged. And all of these 3 custom metrics need to be sent through the metapixel as a custom event that gets triggered by a specific trigger. So we will be creating 3 triggers. The first one is a 5 seconds on page timer trigger that will fire the attracted tag. The next one is a 20 seconds on page timer trigger that will fire the interested tag. And the last one is the 30 seconds and 50% scroll depth trigger that will fire the final engaged tag. When people land on your website page, they may fire all 3 tags or drop off at one of these moments. The triggers will log the time on the page and send accurate timer-based custom events to Meta Ads reporting. So let's get started by creating a new timer trigger. So navigate to the triggers interface and click the new trigger button. In the trigger configuration screen, I need to select my trigger type. So I scroll down and select the timer trigger. Now in the configuration screen, the first thing I need to set is the interval, and that's the number of milliseconds between firing events. Now for this first tag trigger, we want to fire it at 5 seconds. So 5 seconds equals 5,000 milliseconds. So I'm entering 5,000 as a number in this field. Next, we want to limit the number of times this trigger gets fired. We only want to send one event for the first 5 seconds. So not every 5 seconds, but only the first 5 seconds. That's why I'm setting the limit to 1. Next, we need to choose when this trigger needs to be fired. You can set a specific landing page if you want to only report for one page, one specific page. But in my reporting example, I want to see all pages linked to my Facebook ads. So I want this trigger to fire on all pages. Therefore, I can set the page path to contains for example, a slash. This will equal all page URLs containing a slash. So it would basically mean all of my website URLs. I want this trigger to fire on all timers, so I can just leave it like this one. So I need to be naming this trigger before I save it. So let's name it 5 seconds on page, and let's save the first trigger. Next up, the 20 seconds page trigger. New trigger, select the trigger type timer again. Now I want this trigger to fire after 20 seconds, so that would be 20,000 milliseconds. And again, I only want to fire the 20 seconds trigger one time after 20 seconds and not every 20 seconds. So I'm setting the limit to 1. I also want to fire this trigger on all pages again, so page path contains slash, the same way as we did in the 5 seconds trigger. I will be naming this 20 seconds on page and hit save to save this trigger again. Now for the final gauge trigger, this one will be based on a group of triggers. Therefore, we need to create 2 separate triggers. So the first one will be another timer trigger based on 30 seconds. So the timer trigger type, 30,000 milliseconds, one time, all pages, contains slash 30 seconds on page. And hit save. Now to create the engage group of triggers, we have created the timer trigger based on 30 seconds. We now need to create the second one, that's the scroll depth. So we want to collect users who stay on the page for at least 30 seconds, but also scroll down at least 50% of the page length. So for this one, I'm selecting the scroll depth trigger type. And here I need to configure some fields. So I need to, in this configuration, to fire the trigger on 50% scroll depth. This means that the user will need to scroll at least 50% of the page, and it is used to measure an interaction on top of the 30 seconds trigger. So it will prevent the engage tag to fire only when people leave the site after 30 seconds without interacting. Select the vertical scroll depth option and set the percentages to 10, 25, 50, 75, and 100. This configuration will also allow you to choose a custom scroll depth if you wish to do so. Now, for this trigger to work on a 50% scroll depth, I need to set a scroll depth threshold to 50 or greater than or equal to 50. So I need to look for the scroll depth threshold variable, and I will set it to greater than or equal to. Greater than or equal to 50. That's it. I can now save the scroll depth trigger, and I'm naming it 50% scroll depth, and hit save to save the scroll depth trigger. Now let's group the both triggers together, so the 30 seconds on page trigger and the 50% scroll depth trigger. For this, I'm creating a new group trigger. So in the trigger configuration, I scroll down and I'm looking for the trigger group. It's at the bottom, so I select trigger group, and it will allow me to choose the triggers to group together. So choose a trigger. If you click on choose a trigger, you can see all the triggers that are already being configured. Now I have many more, but you can just look for the 30 seconds on page timer trigger and click the plus button to add the 50% scroll depth trigger. So you have now created a trigger group containing 30 seconds and 50% scroll depth. You would want to fire this trigger on all conditions and name this group trigger 30 seconds on page plus 50% scroll depth. You can now hit save. Great, we are now ready, and we've configured the triggers. You should end up with 5 triggers: the 5 seconds trigger, the 20 seconds, 30 seconds, the 50% scroll depth trigger, and the group trigger 30/50% scroll trigger. We are now ready to set up the custom event tags. So tags will hold the custom pixel events and will send the 3 states of the page view to Meta. These tags will fire upon the triggers that you've created during the previous steps. So let's navigate to the tags interface. Now let's create the 3 event tags: attracted, interested, and engaged. The first one, attracted. Click New, and in the tag configuration screen, look for the custom HTML tag. Now there's a little script we need to be pasting here. So the script will send a custom event to the metapixel. I'm sharing the script below this video so you can copy paste it without any issues. Let's paste it. Let's see the script, what it does. It's track custom. It means we're tracking a custom event. We want to track the custom event attracted. So I'm using AT, but you could just provide attracted or any term you wish to use. I'm also adding a variable to send the page. So this will allow me to later, when I'm creating custom conversions in Meta, It would allow me to filter down by page path. If I wish to only report on one or more specific pages, I can use this variable. Now, in the reporting custom report we're using today, we're creating today, I'm not using this variable, but I would suggest you keep it so you have more flexibility from building your own custom reports in the future. So keep it like this. And the only thing we need to set is the trigger. So when do we want the attracted custom event to fire? We want to fire it after the first 5 seconds. And for that, we've created a 5 seconds trigger. So I will be choosing the 5 seconds trigger. So here I can find the 5 seconds on page timer trigger, click it to select it. And we have now created our first attracted event. So let's name it FB event attracted. You can name it whatever you want. For me, I always use FB event and then specify which event tag I would like to create. So in this case, it's the first attracted one. So hit save to save the first attracted events tag. Let's do the same for the second tag, the interested tag. Click new, find the HTML code, and let's paste the other script, the interested script. So it's the exact same code, but instead of attracted, I'm now using the interested naming. So I want to fire this script on the 20 seconds on page timer trigger. And I'm naming the event tag FB event interested. And hit save. All right, almost done. Let's create the last trigger, the engaged one. Again, HTML. Let's find the scripts for the engaged tag. As you can see, I've provided engaged. And now I don't want this one only to fire after 30 seconds, but I want to create I want to attach the group trigger. So this is the group trigger. So I have to select only this one. This way it will fire when both of these triggers are being fired. Let's name this final tag FB event engaged. Hit save, and now you're done creating the 3 custom event triggers we need to start building the report in Facebook Ads Manager. Now, before leaving Google Tag Manager, make sure to publish your changes, otherwise it won't work. So you should see the 3 tags, and you should click the submit button, and this will submit all the changes. So it goes live and you can start testing if all custom events are being logged by the MetaPixel. So that's the next step. We'll be testing using the Facebook Pixel Helper browser add-on, and we'll also test the custom events in Meta Events Manager itself. Okay, here comes the fun part. Let's see if our configuration works. So I'm at my bramsocial.com blog, and I've installed the Facebook Pixel Helper. So it's an add-on, a free add-on you can add to the Chrome browser. And when I open this one, I can see already 2 custom events being fired, the attracted and interested. It means I'm already visiting the page for at least 20 seconds. So I will refresh to see if it works from 5 to 20 to 30. Open up the Facebook Pixel Helper, and after 5 seconds, you should see the first ad. Let's zoom in a little bit. Now let's wait another 50 seconds. Should be almost there. 20 seconds on page, the interested tag is being triggered. So you can also see the variable, the page. It will allow you to filter by page path if you wish to use that. And now after 10 more seconds, the engaged should start appearing. But of course it doesn't work. Why? Because I didn't scroll. So if I would leave the site right now, I want to prevent the engaged tag to be fired, because I could just leave the browser open but don't really engage with the content. That's the reason why we've created trigger group to only fire the engaged tag when both the 30 seconds timer is fired, but also the at least 50% scroll depth. So I need to scroll at least 50% of my page for it to fire. So I'll start scrolling. Almost reaching the 50%. And we can now see the engaged tag also being fired. So according to the Facebook Pixel Helper, our configuration is working. We can now proceed to Facebook, the Meta Facebook Events Manager, test Events Manager interface to test the same if it works at the end of Meta 2. Okay, so now let's test the custom events in Meta Business Manager in the test events tab. So I've opened my Business Manager and navigated to Events Manager. From here, select the data sources. Make sure you've selected the right pixel. It should be the pixel that is installed on your website and attached to your Facebook campaigns. Now navigate to the Test Events tab. Below the screen where it says Test Browser Events, enter your website and click Open Website. This will open your website in a new tab. Leave the tab open and navigate back to the Test Events interface. I can see there's already a page view, which is triggered after 3 seconds. That's a default by Meta. But also the custom events is showing up. It's the event we created in Google Tag Manager. So that's great. And of course, now it's been 20 seconds. I was on the page. So also the interested event tag is locked. Now I start browsing. If I enter a new page, you will see that it starts all over again. There's a page view and there's an attracted custom event. If I keep reading the page for at least 20 seconds, the interested custom event should appear. You can see I did not yet reach 50% of the total page length. So when I navigate back to Events Manager, I can see there's an attracted custom event, also an interested custom event. But when I keep this page open or don't interact with it, after 30 seconds, the engaged text, will not fire because I did not scroll for at least 50%. So when I navigate back, the engaged custom event is still missing. Okay, let's continue reading the content and scrolling down. And right now you can see I scrolled above 50% of the total page length. So let's navigate back, and the engagement custom event is also being locked. So that's great. It confirms our configuration is working. We now have set up all the triggers and events that are needed to create our custom dashboard. So that will be the next step. We will be creating a custom ads report in Facebook Business Manager. But before we can create the attracted, interested, and engaged columns, we need to convert these 3 custom events into custom conversions. Navigate to the custom conversions interface. And as you can see, I already have my 3 custom events, custom conversions being active. But I will show you how to configure these custom conversions. It's quite easy. click the Create Custom Conversions button, name your custom conversion, the first one being attracted. Make sure the data source is set to the pixel that is active and installed on your website, and change the default event from all traffic to the attracted custom event. Leave the standard event for optimization set to Facebook selected category. And under rules, choose URL contains /. Again, this means it will fire on all pages of your website. This is required to create the custom conversion. Now you can continue setting up the two other custom conversions. The setup is exactly the same. The only thing you need to change for interested and engaged is the name and, of course, the selection of the custom event. Let's create this one, but I don't need to hit save because I already created this custom conversion. Now, it may happen that when you create a custom conversion and you would like to select your custom event, that these are still missing. So yeah, it basically means you'll have to wait before these custom events are being triggered by a visitor. So if you have a website with lots of visitors, it will start appearing very soon. Otherwise, you have to wait until they appear. It can take some time, but don't panic. If you followed all the steps, all the previous steps, they will start appearing anytime soon. Now you will end up with 3 active custom conversions. So now time has come to create the custom report. We're all set, the configuration is set. We just now need to build the custom report using conditional formatting. So let's get to it. Open the menu in Business Manager and select Ads Reporting. From within Ads Reporting, click the green Create Report button. Okay, we can now start building the custom report. Select the pivot table layout, and if you see that already some columns have been already added to the report automatically, you first need to delete them. So you can navigate to the right and hit the Metrics tab, or search for the fields. So I can see results and deselect results. Also the cost per result. Let's find it. Here it is. Deselect the cost per result. Okay, so now we have an empty report. We can start building our custom report. So in this example, I want to break down by ad set name, but you can also choose other breakdowns like campaign or ad name or other dimensions that make sense for your report. So I'm selecting the ad set name. And the first column I want to add is the attracted custom conversion. So I'm searching for attracted. And right below the custom conversions, I'm seeing the custom conversion attracted. Click it to add it to the custom report. And next I want to see the interested custom conversion, also selected. And last one, the engaged custom conversion. Here it is. Okay, so right now we have our custom report showing the number of events from people who clicked a specific ad in an ad set name, and 7 events of people got attracted. 4 of them became interested, and 3 of them became engaged. Now, we could read the results without extra columns, but of course, if we add some conditional formatting, it's all much more quickly to identify. So to make it easier to understand and read the results, we will be adding 2 more columns with conditional formatting. Before we can apply conditional formatting, we first need to make these two custom metrics. So navigate to the metrics tab and open the custom metrics. And here there's an option to create custom metrics. Hit the create button and name this metric. What do we want to see? We want to know how many events are going from attracted to interested. So I'm naming this attracted to interested rate. We want to see a percentage, so I'm choosing the percentage instead of the numeric. And now we need to enter a formula. So we would like to know how many of the attracted became interested. So that's quite easy. It's interested, the metric interested, divided by attracted. You can choose to let other people also access your custom metric or only you. If you set it to everyone with access, other colleagues can also use the custom metric in their reports. Okay, make sure all the fields are set correctly and hit create metric. Now you can change it so it appears between attracted and interested. That makes more sense. And we also need to add another custom metric in between these two, from interested to engaged. So create a second custom metric, name it interested to engaged rate. Again, select the percentage format. And the formula, again, easy, engaged, metric engaged, divided by interested. Hit create metric and change the position in between. All right, now we're almost done. We just need to apply conditional formatting to these two columns. Select format and create a new rule. Now you have to choose to which column you want to apply the conditional formatting. So I want to apply to attracted to interest rate first. Then select a condition. I want to identify all attracted to interest rates above 70% as green, so greater than 0.7, color green. Save it. You can already start seeing some green columns here. And create another rule. Again, the same, attracted to interest. I want to identify the middle range numbers. So between 50 and 70%. So in the range of 0.5 and 0.7. I want to give it the color yellow. And the last one, attracted to interest rate, the bad performers, all the rates below 50%, so less than 50, 0.5. And give it a red color. Okay, so you can see they are all have their own color now. And we want to do the same, exact same for interested to engaged rate. So again, create a rule. And instead of attracted to interest rate, select the interested to engaged rate. Repeat the same steps for this column to complete the conditional formatting. And we're done. So I've successfully created a brand new custom report using conditional formatting. It will help me to identify winning landing pages and issues where drop-off rates are higher than expected. Now, how should you act on these results? How should you read this report? So right now I can identify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 campaigns that don't deliver the time on page thresholds that I'm aiming for. So I will need to check the campaign setup of these campaigns and check also the ads and landing pages that are attached to my Facebook ads in these specific ad sets or campaigns to identify possible issues. So it might just be that pages showing yellow numbers take too long to load or simply don't trigger users to keep browsing or reading your content. It means people are leaving the page before they hit the 20 seconds on page mark. And when you're seeing red numbers in the attracted to interest rate column, it may have different reasons. When people drop off before 20 seconds, it may mean that the content isn't relevant or people just didn't intend to visit your landing page. You should check the placements, for example, where your ad appeared, and consider also the ad format when evaluating these numbers. Some placements optimize for keeping engagement on the Facebook or Instagram app itself. So these numbers can make more sense when that is the case. Now, when all looks good on the page itself, just re-verify if the relevance of your Facebook ad to the landing page is high enough. When the message of your ad doesn't resonate with the content of the landing page, people will leave your website early. And changing the landing page attached to your ad, or you can adapt your content to the message of your ad so the relevance gets higher. Now let's look at some numbers going from interested to engaged. So these are people who are really interested in your content. They are scrolling through the page and keep reading the content for at least 30 seconds. When you're seeing green numbers in this column, it usually means that your Facebook campaign targets the right audiences and your message just makes sense. People are triggered to click your ad and the content is relevant. So check the setup of your campaigns showing green results and compare this to campaigns that are generating yellow or red numbers. Now, making smart choices when optimizing your Facebook campaigns can be difficult and challenging. We tend to lose ourselves in big data and complex user flows. Then there are also many reports and tools showing different attribution settings that may cause false interpretations of data. So by simply creating simple reports like this one, you can start focusing on the most important metrics that make sense for your business. The example simply focuses on time on page and scrolls, making it super easy to interpret, but you can change these metrics, of course, to whatever metrics you wish to see and that are relevant for your business. If you need other types of engagement actions, you can easily use this framework to report on actions that are aligned to your most important KPIs and goals. So that's it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this quick tutorial. You can, of course, replay this video. And if you find this kind of video tutorials valuable, let me know and I will create other ones. Also, don't hesitate to contact me on LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I'm sharing weekly updates, mostly regarding Meta and Facebook ads. So just send me a message, let me know what you think, send me some inspiration ideas, and I will see if I can create interesting videos for you to enjoy. So I did enjoy making this video. Thank you for following along. Hope to see you next time. Until then, bye bye.